Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to SORMAG's Online Book Festival. I am LaShonda Hoffman, your host, and I'm excited to be back for our final panel for today. Ask Us Anything panel for romance authors. We have two authors with us today, and I'm super excited to have them so they can talk about their books, share their experience. And if you have any questions for us, make sure you put them in the comments. But you know, LaShonda always comes with her group of questions. So come on, give me yours. If not, then I have some to ask, and I'm super excited to be here. So let's get started. Bring on our guests. Yay. All right, we got Miss Sheena Binkley with us today. I've known Miss Sheena a long, long time. And Miss Raykel, Dr. Raykel Tolson. Thank you so much for being here. Is that your house for real back in the back, or there's a background? Because girl, dog.
That's a background.
Okay,
That's a
I'm gonna
background.
need you to send me that. It's amazing.
Right.
Okay, we
One
get
day.
back, and I don't know how come. I ain't got nothing on, so I don't know. It might be bouncing against y'all. So we'll move forward. All right. Okay, so first, I would like you ladies to tell us a little bit about who you are and what is it that you love about writing romance.
You.
We
Sheena,
go
you
with
go.
you, machine.
Okay. I have been writing for the past 13 years now. Um, as far as with writing, what I love about writing is mainly just basically having that interaction with a couple, being able to have that slow burn as far as a romance, and basically getting a happy ever after. So that's something I always try to incorporate in all of my books. So that's just one of the main things why I like being a romance author.
Yeah. Okay. My turn. So I write romance because I feel like Black women need love. We have been taught to be so independent and all that stuff. So romance and love and all that is like, it's not that important. And I'm like, yeah, most of my friends don't read romance. So I actually write smaller books, novellas, so they will read it. Because if I write a big book, they're not reading it because they're not into romance. And I'm like, we need to believe in love, ladies. And I mean, and I'm speaking to myself. So that's why I write romance because I just think it's something magical about just the whole romance, falling in love in a day. Like Hallmark because it's Christmas time. By the end of the movie, they ready to get married, and I'm here for all of it. I am here for all of it because I wholeheartedly believe that when you see your person, you like that that one right there, and so that's why I write romance, like hands down. We need it in our community. You muted, Lashonda.
Thank you. Try not. I thought I had a feedback, so I was trying to make sure that wasn't me. Um, I love that. I love the I've been like I said, I've been reading romance since I was 9. I fell in love with it then, speaking my mama's books. And when people tell me they don't read it, I kind of look at them side eye because I'm like, you don't have romance in your life. And they look at me like, my friends are the same way. They used to tell me that they didn't read romance because that's not real life. And I was like, how can well, what are you doing? What are the men doing for you? What is it? But they didn't see romance in their life, so they didn't understand reading romance. And so um that I just falling in love is just so magical to me. And I when I talk to people and they're like, mm-mm. And you see a lot of women that are single because they've come into their head, they put it in their head that it's never gonna happen because those type of people don't exist. And I think when you put that aura around you, that's what you get. Those people that don't exist. When you put that, I'm gonna find Mr. Right. It comes in. I really believe that, and I tell people that all the time. When I stop saying that I didn't want a relationship, I got a relationship. When you
Wow.
say you don't want a relationship, that's what God sent you. He won't send you them bone necks. But when you say, I'm ready to meet somebody, settle down and get married, that's it. I'm telling you, it happens. It's like it races off your forehead. I'm not single. I'm ready for a commitment, and that's what's put in your place. But you better be ready. You better be ready. That's all I say. You better be
Well,
ready.
LaShawn, I have to admit, I just had a birthday, and I am 54 years old, and I've never been married, and I've never actually been in love. And
Mm.
everybody's like, "What?" I haven't, but
You still
God,
believe?
no, and let me just share this with whoever is listening, because they might, oh, I can't write a romance because I don't have romance in my life. We are love. First of all, let's just get that. We are love. I don't have to have a man tell me that they love me for me to know that I am love. I understand love. Okay. So I can write about love. I know about desire. I have desires. Even if my desire is to live at the ocean, I mean, it's still a desire. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
I write it because I'm also telling myself that this is possible. Because with God, all things are possible. And so I tell everybody, I can't say that I'm a Christian writer because I have sex, drugs, and alcohol in my books. But God gives me the story, and He tells me, and I get to do it my way.
Mhm.
I get to do it my way. And I hope that there are people out there that are listening, that they will not shy away from writing romance or reading romance because they're like, it doesn't exist. It may not exist in your life yet, but there's always hope, and you always have to keep your mind open and your heart open for what God has for you. So
I I believe that so much. I believe that so much. But we have two more guests that popped in with us, and I'm so excited. Miss Mo Flames, and Miss Darie McCoy.
Hi.
I want you guys to tell us why you love writing romance.
Okay. So I'll go first. Hi everybody. Sorry for the tardiness, but didn't find the link. But anyway, love writing romance because love is love. I think you were just saying it, Dr. Raykel. We came in at the right time, or Raykel. Forgive me if I pronounce it incorrectly, but yeah, love is love, and thankfully, I had two parents. I always saw it. My dad was always on my mom. Walking, I would even like, ew. He's like, that's my wife. I can touch her if I want to, and I'm like, oh my god, stop touching her. So, and then my mom always had the soap operas on, so I always was watching the soap operas, and there's always something about love around. And then the Harlequin romances happen, and so it's been love always around me. And so it's just like, and I'm a lovable person, so it's like that's just me, and so that's just been part of my entire, I think my genetic makeup and who I am, and so it just started speaking to me, and it's been my passion and part of, that's, I can't think of anything else I would want to write. And people are like, do any other genre? I'm like,
Mm.
just the romance genre. So one of them will write some magical penis. I mean, I don't know. So I'm gonna jump over there one day. Alien penises, I don't know, but I'm gonna do it.
So, hello, I'm Darie McCoy. I just love love. Just like Mo said, I love love, and I have been a romance fan for many many years. I read across genres, so I read more than romance. Um, and little bitty pieces of the other stuff I read do sneak into the romances that I write. But I just how do you? I really do not understand the concept of going through life without some kind of love, even if it's fictional love. And just like I think it was Dr. Raykel said, you're writing that you deserve love. You deserve to see somebody being loved. And the women I tend to write are plus size. For not all of them, but most of them are plus size. And because guess what? We're lovable too.
Mhm.
And they deserve that love and attention, to have somebody go hard for them in that soft life, and not to have to struggle for love. And you see that mirrored in the stories. and people are like these people don't actually exist. Look, I'm gonna tell you, those personality types do exist now. You just might not find them. I see them. Other people have them. That's their husband, but that's okay because it happened to them, so it can happen for you too, if that is what you want. I have T-shirts that I make this. I prefer my men fictional because those are the men that never disappoint me. They
Mm.
might disappoint me for like 35 minutes until I make it to the next chapter where they make up for
I love that. I love that. When I was single, I said I read romances so I could have romance in my life. And I read romance now to continue having romance in my life. I'm married, been married 27 years, but um, I love romance. And I've just got into doing K drama. So if you're a K drama fan, wave at me. If you're not, go find y'all some K dramas. That oh my goodness, oh my goodness. But I'm not gonna talk about K dramas. We're gonna talk about writing these good romances. So my first question is, how do you develop and portray the chemistry between your romantic characters? How do you put that on paper? We're gonna
Yeah.
start with Sheena, and then
Okay.
we'll work our way around.
Mainly with all of my characters, it's mainly something that I always try to do that's relatable with my own life, my personal life, with people that I know. So it kind of more like a development between that with the chemistry. So majority of the characters is kind of taken from, I guess, mainly my relationship with my husband. So
Mhm.
just a
Okay.
lot of different things that I went through. So it just kind of just goes into it with those characters.
So with me, because I don't have a husband, most of the time, when I so first of all, let me just say when I have a book in mind, it's a movie. It ain't a book. It's always a movie, right? So I'm a casting director. So I have to cast the man, and I'm gonna cast somebody I like. So in my latest book, I casted the guy who was Sheila's who saved Sheila and Why Did I Get Married? That was him
Mm.
in my brain, and I love him, y'all. So the chemistry was not hard at all because I know he married in real life, but his character is not married, right? And so the chemistry was real easy for me because I think of somebody that I just ooh, that just does it for me. And
Mhm.
just the little things in it, because when you think about actors, they have so much work. So you can pull off of the different characters. You might not know them in person, even though I met him in person. He really is a wonderful guy. But you pull from their characters, and so it's really easy for me to get some chemistry when
Mhm.
I do it like that. So that's how I do it.
Okay.
For me, it's kind of like what Dr. Raykel said. I always think of mine as a movie, and so far for me, I've been treating all of my stories as a movie, and I'm building a world, so everyone's connected. As I
Mhm.
said, my mom watched the story, so I'm creating a story. So, so it's like if you're talking to one character, you're likely talking to a character that's going to be in another book, that's going to be in another book, and I create their chemistry, kind of pretty much what Dr. Raykel said. I look for them and I have to see something in him, and I start to really build out who he is, who he's going to be. What is that? And I have to find his lady love. Like if I see them together, and I'm like, what is it about her that he's into? And like my most recent guy, man, she's a thick girl. Her butt, her she has this Medusa piercing. He's in love with that. I mean, it's just something. It was their chemistry. I just once I see that they have chemistry, it just starts to go from there. But again, the way their development goes, kind of going back to what Sheena said, I take a lot of what goes on outside of my home, my house. I even go to my husband. I'm like, so tell me, what did you see when we first met? So, what did you like about me first? And when do I get on your nerves? And what do I say? Like, I'll take little things that he says, or I'll listen to my brother, my other brother. You have three brothers, and I'll four brothers, and I'll ask them. And I just take it from everywhere, even on social media, things we see on Instagram. I'll take people who go through all their dramas. I might take their drama off as shade room and throw it into there, like, oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna have their marriage act like that. So I kind of just pull from everywhere and all that chemistry and everything too, and just mix it all up and put it in there.
I like that. That's fun.
I like how y'all characters let y'all be in charge of stuff. Mine don't. They don't let me be in charge of things. They pretty much show up in my head, and he's like, "That's my woman over there. Go get her for me. write this down." So, and that's because usually my guys fall first. So now it's not that the women aren't interested in them. The women are just like, you know what? Let you just pump the brakes on this a little bit, and the guys like, no, we together. You gonna be with me, or we gonna be together? Because that's pretty much how they are. So that's how I build it. I'm just like, okay, I'm listening to you. This is your woman. All right, great. So what else? But they tend to also have the thing about touching somewhere, some kind of way they touch. Like I have one couple that was constantly either holding hands. He had to touch her in some kind of way, or she strokes the stroking his beard, or that just that kind of thing. That was their thing, and that was kind of how she calmed him down in different ways that they connected with each other. That wasn't sexual. That rounded out the chemistry between them. So
I love that when you can see that the little bitty things that people do in books, you're like, ooh, that was so sweet, So I love that. I love that about the beard. I'm a beard woman, so yeah, I love that. I have been studying tropes lately. So, what type of tropes do you that are fun for you in your books? Which ones do you like to use in your books?
We're going back in order.
Yeah, we're gonna say order. You know when it's your turn.
For me, that's a good question. Because I haven't really, I guess, had a specific trope. I guess it's just mainly just kind of just with all my books, kind of just going with the flow. I guess so. It's not really anything specific that I have really just tackled. So, but that is a good question. That's not something I've just never really focused on when I did do the majority of my writing.
Sheena, can you raise your mic up a little bit? It's really low, kind of low.
I agree with Sheena. I don't like just one trope. It's just an idea is placed into my spirit. So this last one, it was, older man, younger woman. I mean, older woman, younger man. And it could be that I just had a birthday. You know what I'm saying? I'm 54. It's like, come on. And I'm like, I do not look 54, right? So
Okay.
younger man, it works, right? So that was just something. And then like one of my other books, it was not necessarily forbidden, but it was Christian girl with this out there guy, who actually was bisexual. And she finds out the night before the wedding. And that's one of my favorite books. That's like juicy. But it's, but I'm a Christian girl. And it's just like, just that whole being a Christian, we shut ourselves off to people. We put people in boxes. And it's like, if this was your past, this is who you are. And that's not really how Jesus taught us. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of that, but let's just say that's not what Jesus taught. It may be in the Bible, but that ain't what Jesus taught. Let's put it that way, okay? So I'm basically, there are just things that are just placed in me, and then it's like, well, what if? And it's usually, this is going to sound crazy because I said I wasn't in love, but just because I ain't been in love don't mean I ain't had. But it's usually things that has happened in my life, and then I just think about it. I'm like,
Ooh.
Sorry. And then I tell people all the time, like I think Darie, you had said something about your characters. You can't. So I tell people all the time, you have to go and live life. You got to meet people because your characters are in your subconscious. They pick stuff that's from your subconscious and they create themselves. It's never anything that's really not in there. You might not remember it, but it's in there. And so all of these things and all of these people you've met and all this, they're there. And so the characters take shape because they like, I want a piece. I want that one. I want that one. I want that one. And this is who I am. And then the character is like, here I am, write my story, like you said. But it really is, we have to get out there and meet people and do all those kind of things so we can have those characters.
Oh, I like that. That was good. What about you, Mo? Do you use tropes in your stories?
I do. Friends to lovers, enemies to lovers, lots of forbidden love, lots of forbidden love. Lots of forbidden love.
That's what people love.
Lots of forbidden love. Like, because I think like forbidden love is like that thing. You're not supposed to be with that person. That's like, and I'm dabbling into why choose next year. Why choose is a big one that I'm really. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty fun to tap.
Okay, you gotta explain them. I want to know the forbidden love and what's the white choose.
So like you don't have to choose who you want to be with. You can be with. You can have multiple lovers.
Oh,
yeah. So it's like it's no eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It's eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You, Joe, Schmo, all of y'all.
Will that still fall into the romance category? Though?
It will, because
y'all trying to update the romance.
Look.
I'm gonna be one person.
That's monogamy, right? That's monogamy.
No, that's romance. Y'all done made a whole new generation of romance. You can him and her.
As long as there's a happy ending.
I don't know.
And there are lots of happy endings, figuratively and literally.
Okay. See, I'm old school, so I gotta get you with this new generation because y'all new generation y'all be kissing everybody. I don't know about that. I was about to say everybody have to do a survey.
Everybody breaking skins with everybody. But can I just say though? But this is the thing. When I was growing up, it was soft. It was soft corn. That's all it was. It was soft corn. Because when I thought about the fact, I said, "Mom, you do realize like Victor done slept with everybody." He done been mad. Like, wait, what? I said, Mom.
The stories are not romance, so you can't put that in.
They are romance because they got the little music in the background.
They are romance.
They are don't do that,
Erica,
Don't do that.
Erica taught me what romance was.
Thank you. That's our first romance on television.
Definitely wasn't no romance. That woman had about 5,000 husbands.
That's what I'm saying. That was our first romance. That's love. That's love. That's forbidden love.
You mean to tell me Jesse and Angie wasn't a romance? Are you?
How you gonna say that?
Look, I was in love with Bo Brady. Bo Brady.
Ooh, that was my boy.
Girl, thank you.
That's romance. Okay. Erica and them, they had
Bo and Hope was a romance. They had some issues, but they was a romance. And like I said, Jesse and Angie.
One man, one woman, one love. That's romance. One love. You only can get a second love if that person died, and then you go to find somebody else.
So you're talking about Roman and Marlena, and then Roman died. You had John Black, and then John Black turned out to not really be Roman, and they brought
exactly. Thank you. See how I like how you remember that.
He had died.
Just
okay, I'm sorry. Let's get back on track.
Okay.
Go ahead, Darie, but that was it. That was my
turn. So real quick though, Raykel, you say you're 54. My book that comes out next Tuesday. She's 54, he's 39, blowing that back out.
Ooh.
I'm just saying. Because in case y'all don't know, backs get blown out in my book.
Okay.
If you are a sweet romance
person,
got
the corn.
Them backs get blown all the way out in her book. All the way out.
Sweet romance, because backs get blown out in my book. Now there's a story there. It's more than backs getting blown out. But the back gonna get blown out. I'm just saying. Just go on and handle
I
that.
just love how romance has bloomed over the years. I remember when the black romances first came out, the Arabic books,
Mhm.
and we was just so in love that we had these chocolate men and everybody looking like us,
Mhm.
on the covers and stuff, and it's fantastic. And we're evolving. One of the things that I've learned with writing is we have to evolve. My definition of romance could be totally different from your definition, and that's okay. That's
Mhm.
okay because everybody, when we went to indie books, we got out the square.
Yeah.
We open it up, and
Mhm.
we can be a triangle, we can be a diamond, we can be whatever we want to be. We're not stuck in that square, and that's one of the things that I talk to a lot of people like. That's not. They can't do it. You can't tell people what to write. You
Right.
know,
You
so that's
can't.
why I'm listening to you. I'm teasing, but I love that you all are you letting your imagination go.
Yeah.
And I love it because we were put in for so long we didn't have our books. We didn't have in our stories. We definitely want to get our back blown out. Come on now. You might got the forehead kiss. That's it.
They closed the door. It was fade to black. Close the door.
So
You know,
There are
I
no doors in
it's
my.
I
so
don't write
funny because
scenes for
I don't do sex. I say it's clean. I really call it Christian, but it's inspirational
Mhm.
romance because I don't show that. But because I can't call it Christian because they drink wine like me,
they like to get their dance on.
whiskey, just like me. I love God, but I drink my whiskey, and then and they cuss a little bit because
Mhm.
I mean we cuss a little bit, right? And
Yeah.
and just even they may hit like they had sex, or we may see that they're about to have sex, but we don't go into it, and that keeps my romances from being labeled Christian. But all of my stories will have a message, because
Mhm.
I believe that God has messages for everybody, and He wants them to be entertaining, you know.
So that
I
would be
love that, Dr. Raykel. I just love that. It's like you cheated right on that line, girl. You cheated right on that line.
So
and
back to
that's
the
how I
question.
write. I
I
don't
can
write.
go on and
I don't
answer
write
it.
love scenes either.
Yeah.
But I enjoy good look. I got blown out back up. Everybody does if they married, they got good sex life or whatever. And I love reading stories like that. I think that everybody should be able to write whatever they want to write. That's how I feel about it. You shouldn't tell me that. Well, when I started, they told me that there was no market for people like that. That wrote black romances. They didn't have any readers. And I'm like, I'm black, I read. What do you mean?
Right.
But now we don't have that anymore. We don't have the gatekeeper to tell us what we can read and what we can't read,
Yeah.
what's Christian and what ain't Christian,
Mhm.
and so I'm just happy to see that you all have different varieties and it makes you happy and you have readers because that's the most important part of it
Yes.
all is that you got somebody that says, hey, I want to read about him blowing somebody black out over here. Oh, I want to read about the woman that's falling in love, but they're not having sex. And that's what good black romance is about. Finding the book that's for you.
Yep. So let me answer the question real quick because I got off on a tangent and didn't actually answer the question.
Go ahead.
So tropes that I write, I have written age gap. I only have a couple age gap. I do write usually he falls first, touch her and die because my men do not play about their women. They will hurt you.
Okay.
In your life and they will hurt you. It depends on which way you want to go with this, but you gonna pay for that. Um, Usually, like I said, plus size, so it's that trope. My ladies also tend to have non-traditional careers. Not all, but some are non-traditional careers. So I get that nerdy girl trope in there. So fish out of water. Um, but yeah, usually the staples of any of my stories will probably be he falls first and touch her and die because they don't play. What is that? I don't play about this one here. He don't play about this one here. So
We had another guest. I was trying to see if she was coming on. All right, that's man, y'all took me to the another level. Okay. All right, so I've been writing. I'm writing my first love story. My first published love story. I wrote a couple of them, but me and my editor go back and forth because she says my stuff is too nice. I need more conflict. So I need some advice on conflict. How do you approach conflict in your romances? What are you doing to make them have lots of conflict?
Well, in really all of my stories, there are some sort of conflict. I just have to, I guess, challenge myself, I guess, on certain situations. With each story, I just try to, I guess, pick and see like what type of conflict would be, I guess, included or would make sense. So it's mainly just challenging or challenging myself to see like what these characters will be going through in each story in each relationship. So it's mainly just a challenge thing.
So for me, my last two books were Christmas books because I love Hallmark. And if you watch a Hallmark, there's really no real conflict. And I would
Mhm.
write stories with us without real conflict. You mean because have Christmas without a whole lot of conflict too? I mean, we can. It don't have to be this Christmas for everybody's story. I love this Christmas now. But that's not all the stories that we have around Christmas time. Some of us have some really nice Christmas times. So my conflict isn't for those books. I did like Hallmark conflict. If you watch Hallmark, you know what I'm talking about. It's not that much. Even with my Undefiled, the conflict was just it was really within herself because she had to decide if she was going to be this uber Christian person that was going to throw away a guy because of his past, you know? So the conflict was really, it was really that. And then the funny thing about I made her have her best friend was gay.
Mm.
And it's like your best friend gay, but you got a problem with somebody who had sex with a man before in his past.
Mm.
Don't
That's,
that sound funny?
that's a deep conflict.
But you think about it, in church, in the choir, y'all know our best friend's gay up in the choir. Stop acting like y'all don't know y'all best friend's gay.
Yes.
But if a man came up to you and said he had had that, you'd be like, ooh, and then that whole homophobia comes out. But your best friend,
And yeah.
you see what I'm saying? So that kind of that internal conflict, because like I said, I really do write books because I want people to think about the kind of stuff that they think about. And so it's the conflict that I want to do. It's the conflict with inside the reader because I actually did a short film with the Undefiled book before it became a book. I did a short film, and the pastor that I had at the time, he was like, "Oh my God, this is awesome." He was like, "We're going to show it at church during a Bible study."
Mm-hmm.
Y'all sat there and we watched it, and he wanted to hear what people had to say. Not one woman said that they would have married a man who had had sex with a man in the past, and everybody thought it was just like, whew, whew. And then he was like, he told me later, he was like, they was just saying that because we was in church. Them, them women want them a man, they would do it. But they were just all like appalled. And do you know what he said? I love this pastor so much. He said, church, we are in trouble because we are not going to accept the people. He said, the young generation, they will not be up in here because of our attitudes toward life. And if you really think about it, most of Gen Z and all them, they ain't up in nobody's church. He was dead on. And it's and so so conflict for me is conflict within the reader. Like, why do you when you read it, like why are you like, it's gonna make you think, like, why am I like that? I say I'm a Christian, but I'm not nice at all.
Mm. I just had that conversation with my sister. Ooh, that's a deep one.
Yeah.
That's deep. That's a different way to look at conflict. It's what's the conflict inside of you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I
And
don't know
that's
how to
right.
answer that question either because, ooh, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
Mahogany has joined us. Mahogany SilverRain. Come and tell us a little bit about you and why you like to write romance.
Uh, let's see. Hi, everybody. I'm Mahogany SilverRain. I write paranormal romance.
Mhm.
So I was raised in New Orleans, and I was around a lot of. Um, my mom, put it this way, my mother was delivered by a voodoo priestess. So I have a lot of background with the paranormal, between ghosts, spirits, vampires, werewolves, and I love it. I mostly write interracial romances. So when I first started, there was maybe five of us who wrote interracial romance in 2009. So it was uh, kind of far fetched for people, and we get turned down a lot because we had the not so traditional romance. The hero, rescues the girl. They get together happily ever after. Mine were the opposite. She was the hero. She rescued him, and she had more than one partner. Because I heard you guys mention that earlier, and there is now reverse harems.
Mhm.
So I also write that as well. And to piggyback off of your question, yes, we are saved and Christian, but we also have human nature.
Mm.
And if we don't accept people for who they are, how Christ-like is that? Who did he hang out with? Prostitutes, thieves, tax people. So think about who he hung out with. So if we're going to stay in our little bubble, we're no good to anybody. But that's just my opinion on it.
Well, it's supposed to be about love, who you love.
Hmm.
You didn't say anything about, and people say that all the time, but why would you love why love someone and you know that the world is going to hate that? You have no say over your heart. It's just you love who you love, and
Exactly.
as you see people that's with people and you be like, how in the why? Or you have a girlfriend and you be like, please let him go. He's not worth it. But I love him. So it's crazy like that. It's crazy. So we were talking about conflict. So how do you handle conflict in your romance?
Uh, I use the basic rules of conflict: man versus himself, man versus man versus nature. So, man versus society. So, a lot of times I'll have societal conflict in my books, as well as, okay, where they're trying to figure out something within themselves. But the external conflicts could be anywhere between uh, a tribe that's against another tribe. Say maybe your leopard shifters don't like your lion shifters, however you want to put it. And they have to find some kind of common ground. But I do like to write a lot of action scenes to go with my conflicts, so to make them fun and interesting and not just, yes, I have some sex scenes, some romance scenes, but I like to add a lot of action to it.
Okay, okay. Did everybody else answer that question before we move on? Okay, go
No.
ahead, Derek. Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead, Mo.
Okay. I was just gonna say, it's funny that you came in and said that. I kind of do that same thing, societal conflict and internal conflict, because same thing. I've touched on male on male. In my first series, there was a gentleman. Stop making that face, Dari. Dari, no, Dari read that. So yeah, in my first book, in my first series, a lot of forbidden love. We had, when you say breaking skins, yeah, it was
mhm.
breaking skins everywhere. We had extramarital affairs where down low. So then the guy who didn't know if he wanted to be in a heterosexual relationship ended up cheating on his wife. Being in a bisexual relationship, ended up finding out he's homosexual. So there's male on male, and then there's all kinds of things. So how do I come up with this? Just, it's everywhere. We deal with so much conflict within. Like, how do you know what you think you know? And it's like you end up dealing with another human being, and now you're dealing with your conflict, and you put it off on them, and now you're arguing with each other, and it's like that's the culmination of drama, and I love it. And so same thing,
Yeah.
I'll see something I saw on television, I'm like, I'm gonna stick that right in the book. They'll
Right.
love that. They'll love that. Just, it's
Yeah,
believable. They do it all the time
it
in real
is.
life.
And it's more
So
realistic.
it's
Yeah.
more realistic, yeah. And it's like and then I forget, you can find all kinds of stuff on Reddit. So I tend to go down the Reddit holes.
Don't judge me,
You
but
can. You can.
hey, you want to know if you want conflict? Go on Reddit. It has happened. My
Mhm.
mama slept with my
Pardon
husband,
that.
and
Sorry.
now my sister is my niece and my cousin. I'm like, wait, what? Wait, your niece is your so yeah, you can definitely write a lot of conflict and find it because it's happening every day, and
Mhm.
it's internal and external.
Yeah.
And then I also put a lot of realism for what my inner conflicts are sometimes, where I'm thinking, I put myself in the character's shoes and it's like, well, how do I really feel about this?
Mhm.
It's like, I
Yeah.
don't know. If I factor in what other people think, that messes me up every time.
Yep.
And it's
Mhm.
like, well, what do I think? What's better for me? Or what's better
Mhm.
for my character in that situation? And a lot of times they'll come to realization, you know what? I really love this person and it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, mom, auntie, you know,
Yeah.
that's not good because now you got a boyfriend and you got a girlfriend. What's wrong with you? But you
Mhm.
love who you love.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it works for the three of us, it's polyamory. So, in that, if we're all good, with each other, we check in every week. So we're seeing how the other one's doing. Maybe some, because you can still have jealousy within that, but you talk to each other. It's a lot of communication.
Yeah.
So again, it depends on how you feel about it and yourself. Yes, it is a committed relationship between three people.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So, how I handle conflict, I'm very big on, um, I shouldn't have to suffer for you to love me. Kind
Mm.
of romance. So that being the case, the people that show up in my head already they show up knowing we're not doing that struggle love stuff. That's not happening. So usually the conflict is something that's external. Anything internal in the relationship usually is because he went behind her back and did something because she was too stubborn to allow him to help her in the first place. But but usually it is like just like society. I have like a really fit, handsome man with a very pretty but plus size woman, and they're like, "Why you with that big woman?" So that has been an
I like that.
conflict in one of my stories, and others it's been family stuff where both of them had issues stemming from their childhood that they had to work through as they're navigating their relationship. So it's things like that. There's always something. There's never not going to be something, but it doesn't necessarily have to be where he's treating her poorly and he has to learn how to do right so that he can love her like she needs to be loved. No, he comes in loving her real hard,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
then things happen and they have to navigate it together.
Yeah, I can't get into the bully romances. That I guess that's that old school with me. I don't want you being mean to me, and then I'm supposed to fall in love with you. No, no, that's
Yeah, that's a dark
It
romance.
depends
Right.
on everybody.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually prefer a surly guy. He can be mean to every other person in the
but
room.
But
me,
But
her.
me.
right,
But
right.
me, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I like them. Now that I like, but you being mean to me too, and then I'm supposed to fall for you later. No.
Right.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So,
If you
Lashonda,
put it a
what are
certain way, yeah, the enemies to lovers kind of thing, that trope.
Mhm.
No,
But
I like that one now. I do like
Yeah,
that
I
one.
do. I do like that one,
I
and I
like
do
that
have
one.
one of those coming because so there. I do have an enemies to lovers coming. They're not going to be enemies for too long, but they're
Yeah, it's not long. It's not a bully. They just
right?
pretend they don't like you. It's kind of
it's
like
just
that. I don't like you, but I really
yeah,
do like
Yeah.
you. That whole
But they're
thing.
not
So,
being
Lashonda,
nasty to you, is what I'm saying.
Right.
No.
right.
yeah.
I was
They're
going
not
to say
nasty
that
to
one
me.
of
I
the
like the enemy to lovers, but I don't like them when they so nasty, and I'm like, what? How
like, yeah,
is
no.
this sexy? That's
Mm-mm.
not sexy.
Pretty
Well,
so
at
please,
least
in
that
my,
right?
a-hole
Like
one they have. They have the alpha hole now. So I don't
Yeah,
that's the one I don't like either. But he's
Mhm.
Yeah.
totally a total jerk. Yeah, I don't
Mhm.
want that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
so in my latest book, the other conflict that I have is with when you have an older woman and a younger man. What people got to think about, everybody ain't Janet Jackson and Halle Berry finna have a baby by somebody. That's
That's right.
Yeah,
conflict when
yeah,
you over 50 trying to date somebody younger.
yeah.
And that's
Mhm.
one of the conflicts that in the book. And then I also put in, how would his mama feel? Because my son did
Yeah.
Ooh.
not marry. I mean, he didn't marry an older woman. He did marry somebody his age. But as a mother, we do we feel some type of way about the people that's going to marry our children, especially if they can't give us no grandkids.
Yeah,
Ooh, see, I'm a new
that's a
grandmama,
good
so
conflict.
That's a good conflict.
I think I'm gonna have an issue with my
Conflict, 'cause
son
mama
marrying
also
somebody
needs to learn it ain't about her, baby. This is his life. He ain't got to give you no grandkids. They nice to have, but they ain't he got to give you that.
And that's part, but that's still, but when you think about it, that's true. But when you really think about it, that's some real conflict that people can, because I, for myself, I can't wait until my son has a child. I cannot wait. It's something that I thought about when he was younger. It was
Oh
like, that's
wow.
just something that I was like, oh, I can't wait for him to have somebody to treat him like he did me, or to do the kind of stuff that he did. My mama said the same thing to me.
Yep.
People do that. So we do
Yep.
think about that. So like, it, yes, a mother has to like get over herself, or a parent, not just a mother, but a parent has to get over themselves. But it still doesn't mean that it's not conflict. And it's like, so I really love to try to find the conflicts that people really deal with in everyday life, so they can stop and think like, I don't like my son's wife. Why?
I
And
know, I know people that are like that. They don't like the wife at all. And I have two boys, so I pray that I get some girlfriends or some wives that I love. Because I don't want to be that mother-in-law. But you don't have
you know
any
what?
say over it. You
Well,
don't have
yeah, the ones that
You
don't want to
don't
let
have
go of their sons.
control. And
yeah.
that's what I had to learn. As much as I love my son, and I had this whole vision of what his life would be, I had to realize that I love him more than I love what my vision was for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Yep.
And
And that's
so
a hard
whoever
thing.
he brings to me, the wife, and I love his wife. And it's like, but whoever he brings to me, I got to be okay with that, because I love that child. And so that's one of, in the holiday love, that is huge. And I had somebody read it, they was like, "Ooh, I really related to the mama who was the
Hmm.
innocent villain." And it's a lot of people like, you will relate to the villain in the story, because it's yours.
Yeah, because you could be that villain.
Right?
If you're honest with yourself,
Unfortunately, you
just
could
be
be that
honest.
villain, and you're that mama that keeps saying, "Well, when I'm gonna get some grandkids?" And what if she can't have kids? Then you're making her feel bad because she can't have kids, and then you're telling him, "Well, you need to let her go because you need to get. I need some grandkids." And as a mother, I would love to have grandkids, but if they say they don't want to have kids, then I have to respect that.
Yeah.
So
That was what I was going to bring up. What if the son doesn't want to have kids?
I,
Exactly.
I I have a niece that she told her mom she didn't want to have kids, and I told her, I said, you know what? It's best to know you don't want to have kids before you have kids, because if you get them kids, then your mama gonna have them because you don't want them. So it's best to know that, and you have to respect it. My sister, like, I would like to have, because we are both of our sisters have grandkids, and she's like, I would like to have grandkids. I said, you have a grand dog, you all right.
There you go. You got a grand fur baby.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna give one last question, and we probably gonna run over a little bit, but I need to get this question because I know everybody wants to know that. What do you think makes a good love scene? Even those who don't go into the bedroom, what do you think to get to the almost to the bedroom?
Hmm.
Just it's just having that connection. Just knowing, I guess, what each person likes, and um, I guess what they just for readers what they would expect to see, especially if there's characters with a lot of chemistry. So it's mainly just for me with all my characters, just the connection between the two.
Because I do not write sex scenes, but chemistry, just showing, and then just the tenderness, and because even if it's, because I do read books that have sex in it,
Mhm.
and even when the black back is being blown out, right? I I'm just saying, even when it's like that, but the thoughtfulness, if it's afterwards, and look, I don't even believe I could say that. But if it's just bringing the wash rag or warm wash rag for her to wipe herself afterwards, oh my God, look
I like
at him.
it.
Oh my God.
That's
Like,
tenderness. Come on, that's
that
sweet.
is some tenderness. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? I don't feel bad, but
Aftercare.
I know you got, because I done made you cream and wet and all that kind
That's
of stuff. So
aftercare.
I know, because, I'm
Aftercare.
like, let's just be real. Men
Aftercare.
go straight to the bathroom and wash themselves up.
they sure do.
Any man that's listening, bruh, if you would bring back a nice warm
Thank you.
soap on half, the whole half, first, one half, and not on the other half, so she can wipe herself, because she shouldn't be able to get up, just jump up, right?
That part. That part.
Or
I'm
they
just
should
saying.
That
also
part.
It
clean
sounds like
you.
I need
Just
to send you
period.
a
Do it
couple
for
of
you.
photos.
You
That
ain't
You
even
part.
got
have
to
to
touch
tell
it.
my husband that he got it, because that's who gonna get the warm child. And I always say
That part.
that's why you a keeper, baby. That's why you a
There
keeper.
you go.
That part.
Everybody deserves it in their life. They
You probably
deserve
gonna kill me because I said that, but
it.
hey, I can brag on that one. Hey,
And even better if he bring it back and he does the cleaning.
That's what I said. Yeah,
that's when
I
you
agree with
really
you.
can't move. You know you really couldn't move.
Yeah, yeah, because
That's
that's what
that's
their
the
life is. That's what their life. That's what my men life is. And actually, they run in the bath and taking you in there too as well.
Girl,
I was gonna say I had one. He took her to
look.
the bathroom, put her in the tub, got the water,
Right? There
everything,
you go.
all done, got it all
Oh my
done.
god!
So
All
yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
I think and they've already said it. I think it's everything. It's the build up. One of the things I had a couple of readers, and I'll say this much: they were lesbian, they were lesbians, and they had never had sexual relationships with men. And they read my books, and they were like, "Girl, you had us thinking like, this is what go on. This is what they do." Because I mean, wow. But they were like, because of the foreplay. It was yeah, she was like that many pages. I was like, yes, you was gonna get some sex, mother. Okay. You was gonna
Wow.
yes, it is very I write very graphic.
Okay,
So Dr. Raykel,
okay.
you ever read More Flames?
Burn the flames up. Burn the flames up.
This other side. That's why. That's why. A lot of fire. But yeah, so I think for me, the way I write it is really it's that chemistry is getting there. It's like really the readers are feeling it. They can see that my characters want it. It is the build up. It's like when I get my hands on you. Because when I get my hands on
Right.
you,
Mhm,
it's going down.
mhm.
And yeah, like Darie said, I had one. He had to lift her up and take her to the tub and put her in it, soak her.
I
So
like
whenever
those scenes though.
yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't have to go get. He took her to the
Just pick you up, carry you
bridal
right on
style,
in.
bridal
Right.
style. And she was like, "Oh, the water was perfect too." Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
See, this is why they ain't reading these books, because they like, hell no, I ain't gonna never find nobody like that.
You gotta set the bar. I promise you,
I
Miss
mean, like,
Ashley, you
I
gotta set
need
the
you,
bar.
I need you to bring the towel and blow the water up, put some bubbles up in there. I mean, you pick me up, put me in there, and then be like, girl,
telling
get
you.
away from me.
Listen, that's why they need to read it so they can tell them what to do. And this,
Exactly.
Right?
sorry, Darie, but I know this is like really crazy. And my son will be like, "Ma, why you say that?" But I told my son when he was, we were talking about sex. I wasn't finna just tell him about sex. I tell him how he should treat a person, how she should make sure she feels this, make sure. And then I told him, I said, and when you done,
Mhm.
I said, this is what needs to happen, because she needs to be cleaned off too, just like you
Right,
do.
right.
And
Mm-hmm.
I shared that with my son, and and I don't think I'm wrong as a mother to do
No,
that, because
No,
I've done that.
out here,
that woman
mothers need
appreciates
to
you,
share
mom.
these kind of things with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
If
out here
I'd rather
secret.
say it to them and then have someone else tell them about it. My son
Mhm.
actually came to me, and he and his girlfriend had not had sex, but they had their first year anniversary, and he asked me if I would get a vibrator for her and a butt plug,
Okay.
because he wanted her to have the experience, even though he wasn't going to actually penetrate her, but he
Mm,
wanted to make sure she felt good. So
that's love.
I felt great that he even came to me and asked me that. I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yep.
So I thought I got it for him. I told okay, this is what you do, and I got him the loop and everything. So yeah,
Yes.
he said, okay, if I have more questions, I'll call you, Mom. I was like, wait till it's over before you go.
I know, right? Don't call
Don't
me
call me
during.
during.
Don't call me
Just
during.
let me know later. You can tell me later.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was good.
But I do have one book that we have a slow build up. They are actually both versions, and he plays his guitar for her. Like she's taking a bath, and he's sitting at the foot of her bed, and he's staying at her parents. She's staying at his parents' house, and he actually serenades her. And then they watch movies and cuddle up, and just but that level of intimacy while he's singing and she's enjoying the song, and just end up making out. And he says, "No, we can't go any further," and he leaves her in the room.
Oh,
So,
wow.
eventually when they get married, yes, but that point was like a really great love scene for me.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. I think sometimes um people miss that foreplay part.
Hmm.
They just do it.
Yeah.
And it's like well, when somebody's reading this for the first time, they never had sex, you want to show them the build up to it versus
Hmm.
they just penetrating. you know
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
you
Because I
gotta.
know a lot of people that was their introduction to sex. It was penetration. They didn't have no foreplay. They knew nothing.
Right.
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 No.
That's how a lot of people don't believe that there's romance because they were just having sex.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so it's
Yes.
hard. I think that's what saved me with the books was that I was like, I know it's more to this. No, it's
Listen,
more.
if you're reading a Darie McCoy book, you want to put his face in the place.
Right,
And
right.
she might sit on his face.
There you go.
That might be where her seat is. But for me, the thing
No.
engaging all the senses. You're engaging
Mhm.
you get to know, because usually there's probably more than one scene. And there's usually one from his perspective and one from her perspective, so you know how it feels for both of them when they connect that way. And we're talking not just how it feels, how it tastes, the sounds that they're making, all of engaging all the senses.
All your senses. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So that is,
I like that.
for me, that's the scene, and that's my goal when I'm writing the scene. At watching this movie in my head, trying to write it down. But how does that feel to you?
Mhm.
How does that feel? And besides the logistics of, can your leg really do that?
Thank you. Oh my, it's so right impossible.
That part.
That part right
That
there.
part, Darie. That part. Like, I'm not doing nothing I know I can't do.
Right.
No, she
Oh my
cannot do her leg like that. She cannot do
No.
that.
Do some yoga and get flexible, because there's no telling what might happen. But it's just that engaging everything. And yes, the aftercare is huge, because that's a part of that intimacy between the
Mhm.
couple that says, this is a love story. This is not just sex. This is not just a wham bam, thank you, man, we made each other feel good, get out my house.
Right.
Not that we're a couple, we're together, I care about how you feel, you care about how I feel, and
Right.
they take care of each other. But really, in those moments, he's doing more of the caretaking
Mhm.
for me, because he fell first, so he's gonna take care of his woman.
Yeah, I like that because he fell first.
Mhm.
He fell first.
Oh my goodness, this has been such a fun. Y'all lifted me up this evening because I was
That's
like,
what romance does to you, though. You gotta understand, romance is
Exactly.
the jam.
it's
I
so
don't care what nobody
good.
says.
Yes.
Romance is
I'm
the
like, dang, I gotta
jam.
go get all y'all books and check them out. I got stuff to do. I can't be
Y'all
doing.
done made me want to try my hand at a sex scene. I'm like, I need to do a new book and do me some sex scenes.
Dr. Raykel, take your time now.
know
Put
that's
a little
right.
toe in it, not a lot, just
Go
a little
slow.
toe. Now just go slow.
Do a little serenading and then
Yes,
get to that.
serenade. Hey, take a little bit from Mahogany SilverRain, serenade the tub a little bit.
Yeah, just cut a little bit.
I mean, that's super sweet, but that can also be really super sensual as well. Just
Very
Yeah.
sensual.
that,
Mhm.
especially like he's sitting at the foot of the bed, so that means he can actually see her in the bathroom. But it's just that, like, that she's in there, she's in the water's touching all the parts of her that eventually,
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
it is very sensual.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Man.
Especially because he's a hot Latin guy who's singing to her in Spanish.
Mm.
So
Oh.
yeah, that's my book, Alejandro. Yeah.
Alejandro. Oh goodness.
Yeah, Passion's Pride Alejandro. He's a Jaguar shifter.
Oh, okay.
Girl.
Yep,
Oh,
and he's never been
Jaguar.
with a
Oh.
woman, and he
Mm.
fell for her hard, quick.
Mm. The fact that he's a jaguar, jaguars like long and black. Okay, never mind.
Go ahead.
She got called Mo. She didn't went to another level.
Wait,
Ah. See, I told you about romance while I dabble in something else. See how my mind went. See, I was talking about magical penises. I was saying, okay, I'll do some magical penises, some alien and
No
then you went
magical
to a
penises
jaguar.
Yeah,
here.
I'm like,
there are
yeah.
some can be like half. They can shift halfway, but it's like,
Mm.
what part would you want to be human at that point?
Whew.
Okay, we're not even finna go there. Okay, I'm gonna
What part
close
would
this
you want to magically show up?
We're gonna let y'all tell us how to find you online, and then we're gonna get on up out of here. And before y'all leave, don't leave out. She's gonna put you down in the stage, and then I want to say something to you before we get out. Okay. All right. So we're gonna start Miss Sheena. She's gonna tell us how to reach her online and everything.
Okay, well, of course, I can go on my website, SheenaBinkley.com. I have all my links there for Amazon and my social media accounts, of course. So you may just can go on that site.
Okay.
I'm always also most social medias as Raykel Tolson. My books, you can find them at tolsonbooks.com, but most of them you can just go on Amazon. The only ones you have to go on my website are my children's picture books to get those. And yeah, Raykel Tolson. Just put it somewhere, Raykel Tolson, and you'll find me.
And Mo Flames, like she said, moflames.com. I have a newsletter. Make sure you sign up for it. You get goodies or you get all information about me. I have a book coming out. I have to tell you, it comes out on December 13th. Reckless Desire. Have another one comes out on December 20th. Christmas with the Carters. So yeah, I got a lot going on. So you got to get involved with me. But yeah, I'm everywhere. I'm on all these social media platforms. But yeah, that's it.
Can you say your name one more time?
Sure.
I'm trying to remember that.
Mo Flames. Leaving that fire between the sheets, literally.
Ah, okay.
I love that. I love it. So
I'm gonna have to look for that.
I am Darie McCoy everywhere. You type in Darie McCoy on the internet, you'll find me. DarieMcCoyLLC.com. And I too have a book coming out. It comes out on Tuesday. That's this guy. This is that age gap. So she's older. And but I am Darie McCoy everywhere. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. You know what, I said Twitter, but I am not with the tweeting much. The X is out there in the sphere, but I am on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok more often than not. So you can find me there, Darie McCoy, or you can use the hashtag Darie Writes, and that'll pull up anything about me. So cool.
Okay, you can find me at mahoganysilverrain.net is my website. On Facebook is Mahogany SilverRain, Instagram Mahogany's Place, TikTok Mahogany's Place, and it's also the name of my business, Mahogany's Place LLC, where I publish and write and publish other people. I do book trailers for y'all want a book trailer done, just let me know. Like a movie trailer. And I also do commercials, radio commercials as well. So that's where you can find me.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies, for sharing your interesting stories. I knew it was going to be an interesting panel because romance, you don't never know what you go get. Y'all done taught me some new things. I done found some new genres. I'm like, woo, I've been in the corner too long. But I appreciate each one of you. So thank you so much for being here. For our people, we're going to be back here tomorrow. Tomorrow is all about writing. So come in for writing. We're going to be doing the our live panels or ask us anything about writing panels. We're going to have one about publishing. We're going to have one about marketing. And then we're going to talk about the business side. So come tomorrow. It's going to be a full day tomorrow. If you haven't been in the book festival, go into the book festival. The ladies in there for today's panel have shown out on there, sharing all the little nuggets in the comments. So make sure you reading the comments, Come back tomorrow. I'll have all those things loaded up in there. Hopefully, I'll do a little better with sending out emails. The technology is crazy sometimes, but you got here, so that was a good thing. So I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Have a good evening, and thank you for all who are participating. I truly appreciate you. Have a good evening.